I like the back.
What we've got today going on, we've got some antique vehicles that are going to come up and make a loop around as if they were waiting for the train or trying to beat the train to the station here. We'll do a little bit of a background about who we are, being the Beaver Lodge Mural Foundation. And then we've got some dignitaries. We've got Mayor Gary Brycroft, we have Peter Harris, and we have Travis Tate. We're all going to have a couple words to say. Then we'll unveil the murals. We've got part of what was the original bull outfit that came in, that are still their descendants of, that will be unveiling our then and now mural. And it's actually quite an interesting mural, and I'll describe that a little bit later. And then we have a couple of ladies that drove or rode on the train way back in the late 1930s, and they will be unveiling the murals for us. And we have a train whistle someplace. Load the train whistles. This takes us back to when the train used to come into Beaver Lodge way back when. Long before my time. Here comes our first passenger that rode the train in 1939 coming out of Edmonton. This is Iva Foster. Come on in, Iva. Come on in, sit down. Our next up is Gary Brycroft, Mayor of Beaver Lodge. Welcome, Gary. He's going to catch a train and get out of Dodge here. And then there's Peter Harris. Peter Harris, our councillor from the West End here. He's probably shipping some grain or something like that. And last but not least is Travis Tate, Minister of Finance in the province of Alberta. What we've done over the last couple of years, we've put together a couple of murals that we thought kind of were important to the history of Beaver Lodge here. One of them is the train station mural, which, you know, when the train came into Beaver Lodge, it made a vast economic difference to the area. The town even moved down from the hill, down to the valley to where the train was. We also have a mosaic mural that was done by all kinds of artists from the schools, where we cut the mural into 450 different squares and then handed it out to the schools. There was a Beaver Lodge Regional High School, there was Beaver Lodge Elementary School, there was St. Mary's School, and there was also the Living Springs Mennonite School that all participated. With 450 tiles, we weren't sure whether we would have any tiles left over, and then we would have dispersed them through the community. But the schools, in their wisdom, decided that they could do the entire thing. So what you see when we unveil it will be the work of the students from the schools in and around Beaver Lodge. It's really quite impressive. There's two ways to look at the mural. One, you can stand a long ways back from it and see the big picture that we use for the background, and then you can also stand in close and see what the individual students did for their particular tile. It's you can spend a lot of time looking at it. And an example is we started, rather than starting with the 5x10 mural, we started with that 3x5 mural, which we took as a Euphemia McNaught picture, and we cut that into tiles, and we gave it to the Beaver Lodge Art Club and had them paint whatever they wanted on it. It worked out so well for us that we decided that we would then do a larger one and give it to the students. You may have seen that particular mural in the post offices. It spent time at the Beaver Lodge Post Office, the Hythe Post Office, and Wembley. So that's about what I have to say. I can't remember all the names, maybe I can, of the people that participated in painting the pictures, but Coralie Rycroft, Vicki Hawk, were instrumental in doing the paintings and stuff like that. We used a design on our Mosaic Mural from Joyce Kiko. And then we worked it and went from there. So, without any further ado, I'd just like to turn it over to Gary Rycroft, and then he can introduce Peter and then Travis, and then we'll get on with the unveiling.
Thank you very much. Traditionally, the only time you see the mayor at the train station is when he's being run out of town. It is an election year. I would like to take this moment to thank the Mural Foundation and all of its artists and all the hard work that they've done. Our history is the foundation for why we're here and what we do. There's a lot of memories with the train station. I remember the steam trains and the big disappointment when they went to diesel, because there's quite a difference in the steam trains and the diesel. And I was only about 4 years old or so, but I do remember being very disappointed in the diesel engines. Also, the culture, the screaming of people coming and going from the rail station. Of course, people aren't as much smaller then. The last residents in the train station were, if anybody watched the Yukon Gold, Danielle McGregor and his family were the last people to live in the train station. So there's a lot of history and a lot of connections to everybody, and I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. I'd like to introduce Peter Harris from the County of Grand Prairie.
Thanks, Judy. On behalf of the County of Grand Prairie, I'd like to thank Jim and the foundation for creating these wonderful murals. The County of Grand Prairie is pleased to be able to help support this project. I think it's also very important that they include the younger people in school in these projects and help them understand and appreciate the history of this area. So once again, thanks, Jim, and I'll pass it on to Travis. Thank you.
Well, good. Thanks, Peter. It's really a pleasure to be here with you today. It's really enjoyable for me to get back into not only my constituency, but actually right back into my hometown. So I look out and see so many neighbors and friends, and again, just really a pleasure to be here. Jim, thank you for the invitation to join you in this mural unveil. I didn't know that we actually had a mural foundation, a Beaverledge Mural Foundation. So that's incredible. And you know, it's been a pretty tough 18 months for many of us. And to come out to an event like this together, and to see local artists make such a significant contribution, it's really great. So thank you. I want to thank all the artists, all those that have taken part, and the committee members as a whole. I mentioned it's been a tough 18 months, and we won't go into all the details there, but I want to acknowledge the loss that so many of us have experienced in various ways in these last 18 months. It's been significant, and there's appears to be some hard yards ahead of us. Yeah. But again, that's why, again, getting together at an event like this is so incredible. Every time I come back to this museum, however, I'm reminded of the previous generations that laid a foundation for us today. And I take a look at that agriculture equipment that I would have no idea how to operate, and yet recognize the great challenge that those previous generations faced year in, year out. And so hardship is no stranger to us in Alberta. And it gives me great confidence to know that, you know, previous generations endured, you know, even more hardship than we're facing today, and emerged and flourished throughout that. And so, in spite of our current challenges and afflictions, I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic for the future of this region and the future of this province. So again, Jim and committee, thank you. It's really a pleasure to be here, and congratulations to all of the artists who made a contribution today.
it is now time to unveil the first of our murals. So, Reena Kyle, will you come up? Reena is part of the Shirk family. She told me there may be 35 relatives from the founding fathers that came in. So if we can get them all to come up, we will then unveil our first mural. And she wants to say a couple of words just about the mural itself. So, hey.
Hi, good afternoon. If you wanted to stand over there. Yeah. Like down here. Yeah. The Bulb outfit were a hardy group of pioneers who left Edmonton on April the 20th in 1909. They arrived in Edmonton on July the 12th, 1909, so they were 83 days on the trail. And they came with 31 people, 14 family names, 36 oxen, and that's where their name comes from the bull outfit. And so their oxen they actually purchased in Edmonton for about $200 to $275 a team, and each animal weighed approximately 2,000 pounds. So they came with 14 wagons, 1 horse, 1 buggy, and a pioneer spirit. And so I would like to introduce to you actually 4 generations of the Shirks here. First is Nora Shirk Hassel, who was born and raised on the original Shirk homestead. She is the granddaughter of Amos and Candace Shirk, daughter of Marley Shirk. So she is a 3rd generation bull outfit person. Myself, I should actually go in here. I was actually raised on an original Shirk homestead, and I actually still own the land since 1909. It has been very near and dear to my heart. Next, I'd like to introduce my son, Chris Kyle, and he is the great-great-grandson of Amos and Candace Shirk, the great-grandson of Gordon Shirk, the grandson of Don Shirk, and he lives on the original Shirk homestead. So, beside him is Paisley and Sawyer, her little sister, and we have Nash over here too. So Paisley would be the great-great-great-granddaughter of Amos and Candace Shirk, making her sister Sawyer and her brother Nash 6th generation living on the original Shirk homestead. Also living on the original Shirk homestead is my son Cameron and his 2 little fellows, Landon and Lucas. So we have lots of 6 generations on this original homestead.